Now it has been over a month since I have posted a full-length MX Bikes video here on YouTube, and I apologize for that, but I'm gonna explain why, and I think you guys will understand here in just a minute. But if you don't understand, I get it, and you don't wanna watch the videos anymore, you went off somewhere else, totally understandable. But like I said, I'll break it all down for you guys. Let's jump into it. So I told you guys at the beginning of the year that I wanted to qualify for one supercross race. That's all I wanted to do, was qualify for one. Now coming into A1, I was not confident at all, and I was really actually less confident after A1 because I was 5 seconds off the pace. Not a great first showing, not gonna lie, but you live and you learn and you move on. Round 2 was a little bit better, but the track was also really easy. There was nothing difficult on it, so it was just basically how fast you can run the same line as everybody else, and I was like a second and a half off there. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm actually getting better. I was, you know, coping in my own certain way. Even though I knew the track was easy, I was like, oh yeah, we're definitely getting better. We'll definitely have this done by the end of the season. Now rounds 3 through 12 really brought me back down to reality after that round 2, and yeah, I was anywhere from 2 seconds to 4 seconds off on every single track, and it was just, nothing was working for me. It would be, some tracks I would have a fast lap when I was testing and stuff, but then once the pressure of having to qualify got in there, you make a few mistakes, and next thing you know, you got 10 minutes left on qualifying, and then you're like trying to panic and you make more mistakes, and then you got 3 minutes left, and then all of a sudden the time's up. You didn't even run a fast lap. You're still 2 seconds off of your fastest lap that you ran in testing, and yet you're sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard and everything's just not going well. Now I say all that because round 13 is when everything changed. I had found some new bike setups, I had found some new settings, and shout out to Ocean C, he's an ARL pro. He was helping me out, trying to help me scrub better, help me in the corners better, just to helping me out with all these different things, and so shout out to him. So that's what I'm here to show you guys today. I'm gonna show you guys round 13's qualifying and round 17's qualifying, because I was trying my butt off, I was working my butt off, but I'm gonna show you guys these qualifying rounds, kind of break it up and kind of break some things down that were going through my head, but I'm also gonna break down why I haven't posted videos and why this directly correlates with that. Before we jump into that qualifying though, just check out this military appreciation bike that my boy Schematic made me. It is absolutely awesome. I always wanted to be a fighter pilot going up, so he got me a Blue Angels bike, and it just looks absolutely sick. So I wanted to give him a shout out before you saw this bike in this video. Look at the jets down the side, absolutely sick bike, but this was kind of like my lucky bike, so that's why we're going with it. But here we are in that qualifying. I am going to commentate it now and let you guys know in what was going on in my brain. So here we go, qualifying just started and we're already making a mistake. As soon as we come out the gate, already making a mistake. So I'm like, all right, well, let's just restart it, because that's what you do in qualifying. You just basically go back to the beginning. Here we are, very next lap, make a mistake again and slide out. And this is what I mean by like trying to figure it out. And I believe this was the first rain race or the second rain race, so I was terrible. I have never played in the rain setting on this game before, so as you can see, I am just over here for the first 3 minutes. There's already guys running fast times, the better guys at the game, and they're already running fast times, and I'm over here just making mistakes and crashing a bunch. But we get through the first section finally after 3 minutes, and so I'm like, all right, let's just see where this lap takes us. And yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be a decent lap, but you always want to just throw down at least something, because you just never know what could happen. Maybe a bunch of people have bad races, so you just want to at least throw down one decent lap, and so that's what I'm trying to do here. And we're on a pretty good pace right now, actually. There's Chase right in front of us. He ended up qualifying first in this lobby, so I was like, all right, let me follow him. He's getting ahead of me a little bit, going to this corner, front tuck it. I am like, are you freaking kidding me? So you restart it back and throw another lap back again. So now we have not even completed a full lap yet without crashing. And yeah, I'm starting to already feel the pressure, because I'm like, all right, like, what are we gonna do? Now I messed this section up again, because you're supposed to be quadding there, and then I've already clipped 2 things. I'm coming up short in areas, and I'm like, all right, we'll try to finish this one out, see what happens. Come up short there, not able to hit the quad. Yeah, it's just, this is how it was going in my brain. It's just like not able to throw anything together whatsoever. But this is gonna be like our first kind of like bank lap, I guess, if you want to call it that. It's just trying to throw something down there, get the confidence up. I'm one of those people, it's like, if I can throw down like one lap that's a little bit decent or a little bit close to what I was running and testing, then all my confidence is back again, and then I can usually run that again. So that is going to be our first lap, coming under the 55s or coming through with a 54. Now I know based on the EU times that is not gonna hold. You can see right there, it put me into 11th place, but look, we fast forward the time to like 10 minutes left to go or 6 minutes left to go, and we're already down to 17th and our time hasn't changed. That's what I mean, is like, I knew that time wasn't gonna hold. There's multiple lobbies, I guess you could say. So if you're qualifying like outside the top 10, your chances are pretty slim, because if there's 4 qualifying lobbies, just think of that, top 10 in each one, that's your 40 riders that are making it in right there. So yeah, I already knew that I was out of it right here doing that, sitting that far down. So here I am trying to run another lap. Currently we're in 18th now. I'm running a good lap. I finally hit the quad and then I slide out right here, and I'm going to come up short. So I'm just like, I'm really starting to panic now, because we are down to 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go, and I have yet to run a decent lap, and I am panicking right now. But we're gonna hit the triple on the low side. We're gonna hit the quad, and this may be it. Let's check it out. The big part right here is you just don't want to slide out in this corner right here. I hold a good throttle control right there, and I'm like, all right. And now I'm starting to like panic a little bit again, because I'm like, all right, you're halfway through the lap. You got through all the hard sections. You only have 2 rhythm lanes to go through left, and that is all you got to do. We're gonna hit this. We're gonna hit it just fine. Please don't front tuck this corner again. I made sure not to front tuck in the corner again. We're gonna get a good drive to the whoop section, and this is gonna be a time where it throws me up from 18th place all the way up to 13th place. So I'm like, all right, a new best, 53.75. And so I'm like, all right, we still got a little bit of time left, a minute 40 to go. Let's try to run another lap. With 1 minute to go, we're gonna run a 53.72, so a little bit faster. I tried to run one more lap on the time before the timer ran out, and it ran out. But look at this. I was anxiously hitting that My MXB button because this is the best I've ever qualified, and I qualify 43rd. Now look at that. If I would have went 1/10 faster, I would have qualified for ARL. Look at that. 53.6 was the last qualifying spot. I had a 53.7. I, no lie, was like pretty depressed after that point. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, because I had never even qualified in the top 60 before, because on my MXB it shows the two heat races where the top 20 of each of those qualified, and then it shows first 20 not qualified. That was the first time I had ever made it into the top 60, but we need top 40 to qualify, and I was 1/10 of a second off. And I went back and I watched that lap so many times over and over and over again, and I saw like 1 or 2 spots where if my tire didn't slide out just a little bit here, or I didn't hit that one whoop and bounce up in the air on that on the whoop section, then at that 1/10 was all I needed. Yeah, it was just, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just a heartbreaker. That's just what it was. Now, round 14 at East Rutherford was more of the same. I didn't even make it into the top 60. I did not like that track at all, and I was absolutely terrible at it. I was like 3 or 4 seconds off the pace there for qualifying. Round 15, we made it back up into that top 60 again, but this time we're coming through in 56, so we're 16 spots out from qualifying. Now for round 16, we're not even making it into the top 60. I was running some fast times in testing. Didn't even get close to running those in qualifying, because the same thing happened where I crash a bunch and I start getting frustrated, then I start getting anxious, and then I just didn't even run a good lap. I was like 3 seconds off my own pace that I set in testing. So horrible round. Now that leads us into the final round of Supercross. Last chance to make it in. Now I put in so much work that week on the game. I probably put 20 to 25 hours leading up to that Friday, because I'm like, I'm devoting all my time to this, because if there's ever a chance, now's the chance to do it. It is the last race of the season, last chance to try to qualify for an ARL Supercross event, and here's how it went. Here we are, boys, final round. Now I want to get this done, not only for me, but for the DWR team. I want to be the first person to qualify on a 450. We had 2 people qualify on the 250s this year with MXer for Life and D. Shout out to them, where they were the first people to ever make ARL at all in DWR, but they did it on the 250. I want to do it on the 450, but this stupid sand section, I kept taking the inside. I don't know why I was taking the inside, because he was eating me alive, and I switched to the outside with like a couple minutes to go, and it was way faster. I don't know why I stuck to that line, but I did. Here we are coming around for our first like decent lap. It's like a 52.9, puts me out in 15th place, but let me get back to why I was not posting videos. Is right around round 13 is when I got back to playing hockey again. Now, as you guys know, or if you don't know, I make hockey content. I have sponsors and stuff like that, and I wasn't able to make any content after I had surgery for a while, so I was excited to get back to hockey and make that content again. Now, obviously, that takes time. Same with making MX Bikes videos. They can go from anywhere from 4 hours to make on an easy video where you're just kind of riding around, or up to like 16 hours, sometimes 2 days to make. So that's just what it is. And so right around round 13, when I got so close to qualifying and I was only 3 spots out, I was like, all right, I'm gonna devote all my time into try to qualifying for one of these races, because the mindset that I had was like, if I make videos, it can take anywhere from, like I said, 4 hours to 16 hours making videos, and that's not me playing the game. So I was like, all right, we got 5 rounds left, and so I want to try and qualify, so I'm gonna put all my time and all my effort into qualifying, and that's exactly what I did. I knew that it would hurt my channel and people wouldn't see that stupid sand section. I knew it would hurt my channel, and I might not get the views I used to get, and I had good momentum and everything, but I wanted to achieve this so bad, because I don't care if it's a video game, I don't care what it is. If I set a goal, I want to achieve it, and I am just, that's just how I'm built. That's just how I am. I've always been that way. Like I said, I don't care if it's flipping a quarter 100 times. If I want to do it the fastest, I'm going to do whatever I can to win and to achieve that goal. And that's just how I'm wired, I guess. But that's what I did. People might think it's dumb, people might think it's stupid because it's a video game, but I set out to get a goal, and this is exactly what I was out to do. And I was going to do anything I could to achieve that. So letting the YouTube channel go for a little bit is what I did, and that's why you didn't see me posting videos, because I devoted all my time to just practicing and getting better at the game. So there's our next lap coming in, a 52.3, but look at this. It is still putting me down in like 19th place. So I'm like, man, what do I gotta do? Now we're coming around again, and we're in 21st place with a 52.3. Now I believe like a 52 flat or a 52.1 would have qualified me for EU. That's how much faster NA is. Now, it doesn't have the faster guys, but you get so much extra time on the track. EU has 30 minutes to practice the track before they got to qualify. NA has like 6 hours to practice this track before they qualify. And I work a day job. I get off at 5 p.m. The race for me is at 7. Qualifying starts at 7. So I'm just like, I have very little time to practice the track. About the time I get home, it's 5:30, and I have like an hour to learn the track, or an hour and a half to learn the track, and then qualifying starts. So I'm already at a disadvantage there, and yeah, that's just what it was, but we're still giving it our best. Here we are coming through with another lap time. I'm gonna bring my time down to a 52.1, and look at that, it changes me 1 position. I'm like, Jesus, what do I have to do? Usually when you can get a few seconds or a few tenths of a second, usually you bump up quite a bit, and it just was not happening for me in this round, but we are not giving up. I will never give up in here, and yeah, we just gotta keep trying, and man, it was a fun season. I learned a lot. I got way better at the game. If you go back and watch my Anaheim 1 qualifying video to this one, I think you'll see a big difference. Now, like I said, I got a lot faster, but the whole goal was to qualify for one of these races. I had no expectation of making it to a main event. I had no expectation of making it to a main event. Essentially, I just wanted to qualify and be in one heat race and one LCQ. That's because we all knew I was going to the LCQ, but that's all I wanted, and I was trying so hard to do what I could do to try to get in there. And here we are coming around with another time. We're dropping it by another 10th, coming down to a 52.0, but that's still in 21st place. It didn't change me at all. And I was just like, now I'm panicking. And we have 1 minute left of qualifying. Can we make this happen? Because it is very rare that you're going to make it in one of these races qualifying 21st in your lobby. It's just very rare that it's going to happen. I think there was only 3 lobbies, so you needed to probably be like 15th or so, and there I mess up again. So trying to go back, we got 30 seconds to go. I am trying my hardest to make this happen, and just gonna let you guys see it out from here. I am hitting everything perfect. I am flying. Try to go for the triple, and I go over the bars, and the timer runs out. We are qualifying 21st in our lobby, which ultimately puts us at 50th. We qualified 10 spots away. That was another heartbreaker. Now, it wasn't as close as the other one was when I qualified 13th in my lobby. This one, I didn't expect to get in, but I didn't know because the times were so close. But 10 spots away. That was it, 10 spots away, and ultimately I failed, and I was very, very bummed out about that. I didn't touch the game for 2 days. Like I said, you guys might think it's dumb because it's just a video game and what does it matter? But when I set a goal, like I said, I want to achieve that goal, and I feel like I failed. And it's one of those things where a lot of things come into my head because you don't know the future, and you don't know with Motocross the game. If Motocross the game comes out and it's everything it's supposed to be, is this even going to be available next year? Or are people going to still race it? Or is everybody going to go, if the game is still available, or if the ARL is still going in MX bikes, is it not going to be near as competitive because everybody's going to be at Motocross the game? You just don't know what the future holds. But I was just so bummed because, yeah, I still have outdoors where I can try to qualify, but I love Supercross so much more than outdoors. I am not the biggest fan of outdoors. I am going to try, but I just love Supercross so much more. And yeah, it was just a heartbreaker for those last few rounds to really start getting better at the game. And it was just one of those things where it's like, man, I wish I could have found whatever clicked earlier in the season. And but to be honest with you guys, like, realistically, I didn't think I was going to make it until round 13. I tried every single round, but realistically, I didn't think there was even a chance, but I just loved being there, and I loved trying because you just never know when you might get that one lucky lap where you throw something together. But yeah, coming into the season, like, if you would have asked me would I've even been in the top 60, I would have said no. I would have been happy just to be in the top 100. So to even make it to that was a positive, and I'm trying to see the positives out of this because I did get so much better at the game than where I was in January when I started all this. But man, it was just, like I said, it was just a bummer to not qualify for ARL, and I feel like I let myself down, even though I know I didn't. I feel like I let the team down because they were all backing me and saying, like, I hope you get it, and we know you got it this week, and just not able to make it happen. It was just a super bummer, and I'm still honestly pretty bummed out about it, but it is what it is. It is over now, and it's just a video game at the end of the day. But I had a goal, and I wanted to achieve that goal, but it's not gonna happen this season. So I appreciate everybody if you stuck around and watched the whole entire video. I appreciate the team. I appreciate everybody that was telling me that you're gonna make it this year. And yeah, we'll just have to see how outdoors goes. That starts in, I think, 2 weeks. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry I couldn't qualify for you guys. I really tried. But now that season's over with, I plan on putting out regular content here again. I hope you guys are ready to enjoy that, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.